What's going on, guys? It's your girl Tech Job Tina signing in for another episode. On today's episode, we're going to talk about a very important tool and why you should be using it. So I'm going to share my screen with you and we're going to dig in. All right, so this is the tool that you should be using. It is called Apollo IO. Now, for those of you that are using this already, kudos. You already know what the deal is. Keep doing what you're doing. But for those of you that have never heard of this before, this is your introduction. I will put a link to this in the description and in the comments. It is actually free to use up until a certain amount. If you start off as a free user, they'll give you X amount of credits. And I can assure you it's more than enough credits to help you use the tool to get some interviews, right? So I'm going to show it to you because this is what I used when I was out here looking for a job. And I still actually use it when I'm trying to get information, right? So the way that it works is it's basically a tool to help you get contact information for people that you want to reach out to at these companies. Like you can get their company email address, so that way you can send a vidyard, you can send a loom, you can send an email just trying to get your application to the top of the stack and get that interview, right? You can also get phone numbers, right? You can cold call a person, right? Because you're trying to do the job to get the job, right? So what a lot of people run into is only having one way to contact in a VP of sales, only having one way to contact the recruiter. And usually that one way is what? You're sending them a LinkedIn message. And that's great. You're still going to do that. You're still going to connect with these people on LinkedIn. You're still going to send a nice LinkedIn message. You're still going to use your LinkedIn voice notes. You're still going to utilize that as a contact avenue to try to get in front of people. But we're adding an additional layer to what you are doing by giving you a tool that allows you to be able to find their actual work email addresses and to be able to, in many cases, get an actual phone number, right? Just other tools to help you do the job, to get the job, right? So I already have Apollo IO installed. I'm going to show you how it works in a nutshell. I'm not going to get too far in the weeds. I just want to introduce you to the tool and then allow you to do the rest and get familiar with it on your own, okay? So here we go. So I'm going to show you how this tool actually works. Okay. So there's a few ways you can tackle this. You can use it to dig deeper into jobs that are actively hiring. So I'm going to click on my jobs icon right here. And I'm just going to use this as an example. This company Silk is looking for an account executive. I'm going to click on it. And what you want to do is you want to go to the company page. Okay. So let me get myself over to the company page now that I know they're hiring, right? So the minute you get yourself over to the company page, Apollo notices that you're on the company page, right? So it's going to start giving you some information. Okay. The first bit of information is going to give you stuff about the company. It's going to tell you how many employees it got, what type of company it is, what their annual revenue is. If they're a startup, it tells you what their Series A funding looks like. Just lots of information that is actually useful to you as you're trying to kind of research companies, right? And then you got these tabs across the bottom. That was the overview, which is what you get first. But you click into the insights, it'll give you additional information. So for those of you that are trying to research the company to prepare for your interviews, Apollo IO is helping you by giving you news, insights, information about the company. All right, so once you get over to the company page, if you just click on people right here, and the moment you click on people, you scroll down, you see this white bar that just appeared. This is coming from the Apollo extension that I have on here, right? Now I have an option. I can select everybody on here and I can save all the contacts to Apollo. I have everybody's emails and all that stuff like that. But I recommend being very strategic. You don't need everybody because you're not going to reach out to every single person on here. You're looking for particular people, right? So I know this is a startup, right? So I saw the CEO and founder, Ram, right here. So if you just scroll right here, you see we have an email icon and a phone icon, right? So what you can do, you can go ahead and save him to Apollo and then go in there and look at his information. Or you can just simply click this email icon right here. And it's telling you that the email is verified and valid, right? And then you can click on phone right here. It'll automatically show you the headquarters phone number. That's what that number is right there. And then you can go and you can add RAM to a list. Like if you have a particular list set up in Apollo, it'll do that. If you click your dotted box right here, you can view the contact in Apollo. So I'm going to click on that to view the contact. All right, so this is the type of information you can expect to see for a contact that you select using Apollo IO. As you can see, you have his real company email address right here, and you have a phone number right here. You notice you even have a personal email in here, and you can request a mobile phone number right here, but it will cost you 1 credit, right? Now, one of the things you'll notice when you sign up for Apollo IO for the first time, they will give you X amount of credits that you can use, basically giving you free access. I have found that they give you more than enough credits to use to be able to get some interviews, right? So don't worry about running out of credits. They give you more than enough. So just be really selective about how you're using your credits, but you should have enough to do what you need to do. Okay. All right. So let's go back. Now, something else you can do as well, you can just type, and I don't know if you've ever used the search box on the company page on LinkedIn, but here it is if you've never seen it before. So I would just type the word talent. I got 2 associated members with the word talent in their title. So I'm going to scroll down. Here he is. Okay, lead talent and culture. And then let's see here. What else we got? All right. So I have what looks to be a recruiter, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this contact to Apollo IO. Then I'm going to view the contact. All right, so I'm viewing the contact right here. And see, I have a phone number, which is the company phone number, and I have an email address right here. And it says you can request a mobile phone number. All right. And then, of course, you get all the same information about the company as well. All right. And then you get a little bit of work history on that contact right here that you can take a look at. So yeah, so that is it in a nutshell, man. So Apollo IO is definitely a tool that you should familiarize yourself with. It just gives you another, another way to try to get your name at the top of the stack when you're applying for these jobs. Now, no, you're not going to have time to do this on every role. I do advise you to really get a targeted list of companies that you want to go after. This tool is useful if you've already sat down and said, okay, these are the 25 or 30 companies I really, really want to work for. That way you can go and you can get all of the contacts that you need within each of those companies. Now, if you're spraying and praying, and you're applying to 300, 400, 500, 600, sometimes upwards of 1,000 companies, no, you're not going to sit here and go through every last one of them and pull an email address and pull a phone number. It's going to take way too long. So if you're spraying and praying, just keep applying and don't even bother with the outreach. You're not going to be able to outreach that many people. But if you are doing what I recommend you do and strategically apply, you have a list of 25 to 30 companies that are on your wish list, and you are targeting those companies and you are trying to land interviews at those companies. You're basically treating it like you would if you were on an SDR job. Because an SDR, if you're doing outbound prospecting, you already have a targeted list of accounts that you are trying to penetrate. This is the same thing. You're working with a targeted list, and you're making this your priority. I'm going after these companies, right? So that's where you're going to spend your time really trying to penetrate those companies and get those interviews, all right? So I hope you found this helpful. I'm going to stop this video right here, but I will put a link to Apollo IO in the description and in the comments. Like I said, it is free to use. They'll give you X amount of free credits so that you can use it to do your interview outreach. And like I said before, I found it was more than enough credits to get the job done. If you find that you love Apollo so much that you want to continue using it after your credits are done, then yeah, they do have a pay option after that, right? But yeah, I kind of wanted to put that out there for you guys. If you're not using Apollo IO, start using it today so that you can increase your chances of landing an interview. So lots of people applying for these roles. Anything you can do to get you ahead of the pack is definitely going to be worth it. So I hope you found this content helpful. I will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy your Juneteenth. If you are off today, Tech Job Tina out. Peace and blessings. Bye.